Hey y'all! Today we're going to read about a new beginning, so get cozy and be quiet. Time passed, and many people filled the earth. Everyone everywhere had forgotten about God, and they were only doing bad things all the time. God's heart was filled with pain when he saw what had happened to the world that he loved. Everywhere was disease and death and destruction, all the things that God hates the most. Now, Noah was God's friend, which was odd in those days because no one else was. Noah listened to God, he talked to God, and he just loved being with God, just like you do with your best friend. Noah, God said, things have gone wrong. People have filled my world with hate instead of love. They're destroying themselves and each other and my world. I must stop them. First, we'll build an ark. Do you know how to build an ark? Well, neither did Noah. Luckily, God knew, and God would show him. They made a plan. Looks like a house plan, don't it, Peter? A storm is coming, God said, but I will rescue you, I promise. I'll send all the animals to you. Ones that creep and crawl and slither and slime and gallop and hop and bound and climb, and don't forget to pack everyone's food. The storm was going to wash away all the hate and sadness and everything that had gone wrong and make the world clean again. God had thought up a way to keep Noah safe, but Noah would have to trust God and do exactly what God told him. So Noah built an ark, which is short for a very large boat. Noah's neighbors came out to watch and point and laugh because they did not believe Noah about the boat or the storm or needing to be rescued. And Noah must have looked rather silly. His boat was in the desert. The desert was nowhere near the sea, and there was not even a cloud in the sky. Why would anyone need an umbrella, let alone a boat? You see Noah's friends pointing and laughing? And there's the boat in the middle of the desert. But Noah didn't mind so much what other people thought. He minded what God thought. So he just did what God told him to do. Now when the ark was ready, God said, "All aboard?" And Noah's family and all the animals climbed inside. Then God shut the door. Who shut the door, twins? God shut the door. And it started raining. For minutes that joined up into hours, that joined up into days, that joined up into weeks and weeks, it rained. And the rain joined up into puddles, that joined up into rivers, that joined up into lakes, that joined up into a flood that covered the whole world. Their boat, that had once seemed so big, suddenly seemed very small. But in the middle of the huge storm, and in the crashing waves, and in all the thunder and lightning, through it all, God was with them. And God kept them safe for 40 long days and 40 long nights. Finally, the rain stopped. The sun came out, and Noah threw open all the windows. "Hooray!" everyone shouted. Noah sent his dove out to explore, and it was not long before she brought him back a fresh olive leaf. Everyone knew exactly what that meant. She'd found a tree and land. Water was going down. Gosh, you see that great big boat? It was big, but now it's little because all the water. And you see the clouds and the rain coming down? And the little fishes in the sea? Do you see the fishes? At last the boat landed quite suddenly on top of a great mountain. As soon as it was safe, God said, "Out you come," and so they did, everyone skipping and dancing onto dry land. The first thing Noah did was to thank God for rescuing them, just as he had promised. And the first thing God did was make another promise. "I won't ever destroy the world again," he said. And like a warrior who puts away his bow and arrow at the end of a great battle, God said, "See, I have hung my bow in the clouds." Like a bow and arrow, God put his bow in the clouds. And there in the clouds, just where the storm meets the sun, it was a beautiful shining bow made of light. It was a new beginning in God's world. It wasn't long before everything went wrong again, but God was not surprised. He knew this would happen. That's why, before the beginning of time, he had another plan, a better plan. A plan not to destroy the world, but to rescue it. A plan to one day send his own Son, the rescuer. God's strong anger against hate and sadness and death would come down once more, but not onto his people or his world. No. God's war bow was not pointing down at his people. It was pointing up into the heart of heaven. Who is the heart of heaven? It's Jesus. Let me read that one more time. God's strong anger against hate and sadness and death would come down once more, but it would not come down onto the people or to the world. No. God's war bow was not pointing down at his people. It was pointing up into the heart of heaven. At Jesus. Okay, Papa's going to pray with you, and I wish you good night. I love you.